All right, y'all. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started a little early here. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here. I was gonna wait till 11:45, but I said no. Let's go ahead and start. Give me about 30. Let's see, give me about 30 or 40 minutes of your time, and then we can go into this conversation about what just happened last night. I see some Bellator tonight too. I was looking at some boxing matches as well, but we was hold on. Yeah, but I want to talk about these UFC fights here in this stream. So, all right, get started here in a minute. Yeah, I could have went 4-0 today. All my picks, all the ones I did choose to pick came through. I'm 3-0 with one no contest because I didn't pick in the Nunez Carnelossi fight. I didn't really like I said, I didn't really have one in that fight because Nunes been out for so long, when it was hard to say where she was really going to be at. So I didn't have a pick, but it was a good performance though. I mean, it was a good performance though. So yeah, let's get into this real quick. I'll be on here about 30, 40 minutes, like I said, 30, 45 minutes this time, cutting this short. Um, yeah, good card tonight, decent, had some good fights, and I think we all gotta say thank God that all the fights came through this time. We had four WMMA fights. We have four scheduled, and we have four come through. So hey, that's all I asked for. And yeah, I want to start with this Estela Nunez fight and Ariane Carlosi. Talk a little bit about that. Then Lupi and Luana. Let me pull this stuff up here quick. Hold on. Ernest Richardson, what's going on? He said I bet on both the main event and the Fiorot Silva fight to not go to the last round. Yeah, that was a tough call, man. The Dumont fight and the Ladd fight, I could see going the distance more so, but the way um the way when you put those two styles together, Silva and Fiorot, you thought somebody was going to get stopped. So yeah, I definitely understand. That was my pick. I said second round or first round, man. Second round, first round. I said she was going to get taken out. And maybe if Firo would have committed a little bit more to you know more accurate shots, maybe good accurate 1-2, she probably could have got Silva out of there. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Yeah, but yeah, the Ladd Dumont fight, I think I said decision. I picked Dumont to win, but yeah, I could see where people think Dumont was going to finish Ladd, but Ladd looked big in there. Let me just say that Ladd looked kind of big. Like if anything, Ladd, she didn't look strong at featherweight, but it was more so her durability. You know what I mean? Like she could take a hit. Like that's the best thing about her being at 145. Like that was a plus side. Like it seemed like she could take some shots. That weight was helping her absorb those punches from Norma Dumont. Well, Norma wasn't really like Norma could have chopped Ladd down and got her out of there. I don't know. I think she was like she fought a good, cautious fight, but she could have got her out of there if she wanted to. Hang on here. Let's see. Yeah, so Estela Nunez, like I said, she had been out the game for about I want to say what I say 3 years. Because she had got popped and she was out. She got suspended for two, so she was out almost 3 years. In activity and because of the suspension. But Estela Nunez in this fight here, in her debut, she showed some good signs of keeping range and throwing some good strikes. Um, Ariane Carnelosi, she's just a little powerhouse though. She wants to close the distance, and what I wanted to say about this fight is Ariane Carnelossi showed you that, look, if you want to get these takedowns, you got to have good wrestling. You got to be able to clinch. You have to be strong, and you have to have good control of not just your opponent's body, but your body as well. Like I mentioned that because Mackenzie Dern, I know they're two different levels of fighters, but Mackenzie Dern, she could learn from that type of control, that type of body control from Ariane Carnelossi. Ariane Carnelossi, she's getting those underhooks and she's using her head to control um Nunes in these in these clinches. And eventually, she's not trying to really go for like these big slams, but she's taking her down. She's getting her down to the floor by putting the weight on her and just putting that strength on Nunes. Now, first round, I thought, Nunes was doing a good job of sticking her jab out and coming over the top with the right hand. I think she just needed more volume. She wasn't throwing enough volume in there because Ariane Carnelossi was just closing that distance. She continued to press forward and even land a couple good left hands and right hands, and that's what you got to do. Like if you punch your way in, you can't be punching wild. Like it's crazy. Like Mackenzie Dern, she could learn from some of these lower ranked fighters. Like the approach Carnelossi took punching her way in was much, much smarter than how Dern does. Hey, agree, disagree. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, if I know that she's not on, I know Nunes is not the same level of striker that Rodriguez is, but it would still work if you knew how to control and not go in there crazy, just flailing wild shots. I think Carnelossi did a good job of punching her way in and landing a few good punches to slow Nunes down and then eventually clinching up with her and taking her down. Like I think Nunes, she won the first round, but the second round it got a little tight. I think Nunes was out landing Carnelossi early on, but then Nunes scored like two takedowns and just had overall good control. And Nunes, she started to look a little bit lost on the ground. She would get her legs locked up together, and Carnelossi was just like controlling her. Just controlling the ground time. And there was a point when I seen okay Nunes on the back foot too much and just landing in singles and a double here and there. And then eventually, when Carnelossi got her down again, I was like, oh, she just gave the round away. I was like, she lost the fight. You know what I mean? Like I knew that she had lost the fight. Like when she got that second takedown on Nunes, because Nunes was just not pumping jabs out enough. Like she would hit Carnelossi clean with like a couple right hands, but she was not mixing it up enough and not throwing volume. That's why Carnelossi would just punch her way in and go right into the clinch. But yeah, like Carnelossi just did a good job of using her strength and closing the distance in a very, very smart way. And that's why I keep saying like that's what Dern has to do. Even even if you go back and look at these lower ranked fights, it's not gonna hurt. You know what I mean? You got to learn from somewhere. Like I think some of these fighters on the lower level do have some better strengths than Mackenzie Dern, and she could learn from them. But yeah, the third round though, I said this is it for Nunes. She has to go in there and get that stoppage win, and she just couldn't put those shots together. She kept letting Carnelossi pin her to the cage, pin her to the cage and just, take her down. Then eventually, when she took her down that last time, she was able to make that maneuver from with half guard. No, I think she was like half guard, and then she went to the back and just locked in that rear naked choke. So I don't know, man. Hold on, little text there. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'd say it's not just a mixture of inactivity for Nunes. It was just the fact that she didn't know how to use her footwork to avoid those rushes from Ariane Carnelossi. Uh, I think Carnelossi was just too strong for her, and she wasn't prepared for the ground game. She thought she could pick her apart with those single shots, but if fighters are gonna come at you like that, you gotta let your hands go. You forgot to let your hands go, and she was not doing that. All right, so but it was a good fight. I think Carnelossi, she's putting together a string of wins. She's trying to make her make herself known now, and um she's trying to erase that TKO loss to Angela Hill that happened. a couple years ago now, right? How far back was that? Let me see. Yeah, about 2 years ago. Angela Hill was able to stop her in the first round, Carnelossi, but since then, she's put together a couple of good finishes. So from here, man, Carnelossi, she deserves one of these girls everybody's considering a monster. Somebody, I mean, like Luana Pinheiro, that would be a good name for her. Cheyenne Bays, Cheyenne Bays would be a good name. I think her style will make for a good fight with Ruiz, just like entertaining fight. But Ruiz is coming off that loss, so maybe not. She's coming off a hard loss, and I think Carlos would beat Ruiz right now. So maybe somebody like Cheyenne Bays would be a good name for Carnelossi. Let me see, y'all. Let me look at this list of strawweights here real quick. But Cheyenne Bays, I think she has an opponent coming up, right? Cheyenne Bays. I think she has somebody lined up already. Hold on, let me check. Let's see. Yeah. She has Loma Labugni lined up next month. So, well, they could fight. They could fight. I mean, they're only like a month apart. Like next time she returns, Cheyenne Bays could take her on. So yeah, that ain't bad. Yeah, that would be a good fight. If Cheyenne Bays beats Loma Labugni, that would put her on a 2-fight win streak. So yeah, that would be cool. But I was kind of leaning towards Carnelossi in this fight. I just wasn't too sure. I wasn't surprised. I was surprised, you know, not really surprised that she was able to pull out the win like that because again, Nunes making her debut after being out the game for 3 years, man. Come on. 3 years, that wouldn't work. But yeah, eventually, yeah, I would like to see Cheyenne Bays, whatever you want to call it. Cheyenne Bays versus Carnelossi maybe like next year. That would be a good fight. That'd be a good fight. Um, see Marcus Bell, what's going on? Mark said Bays Loma. Yep, just said that. It's in November. And Arpit Singh, what's going on, man? Um, yeah, so let's jump to this next fight here. Luana Carolina versus Lupi Godinez. Everybody was picking Lupi in this one, man. Everybody picking it off her heart. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, shout out to Lupi. Like I said, I am not one to try to stop a fighter's money, and definitely not when they want to put on a fight and they want to come to perform. If they answer the call, they get all the credit in the world. But when we look at like this fight in a technical manner, I had to go with Luana Carolina just because of those certain advantages she has going into a fight with a much smaller flyweight. Lupi is a natural strawweight. She weighed in at 121. She weighed in at 121. So I said, okay, let's look at this. Luana's a natural flyweight here. Again, she's not the most dangerous and she's not the best. She's definitely not like the biggest threat at flyweight, right? But she's definitely got enough going for her that's gonna be able to counter a much smaller fighter. Now there was some scary moments in this fight. I ain't gonna lie, there were scary moments. But Luana Carolina, she had the height, the reach, she had the striking advantage. She was doubling. I think she like doubled like significant strikes over Lupi Godinez. Um, Decent takedown defense. I say decent because that first round was a scary moment, and she shouldn't be getting taken down by somebody this small, in my opinion. She should have been like scrambling up, but she gave her like that first round, and I was like, yo, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like that shouldn't even happen for Luana Carolina. So scary moments, yeah. But overall, when you looked at what advantages Luana Carolina had, I had to roll with that. I had to roll with it. Again, I just couldn't pick Lupi just because she answered the call and just say, oh, she ready. I can't base it off of a first round finish of a strawweight. I had to factor in these different things. And yeah, Luana Carolina did what she was supposed to do. First round, she started off outstriking Lupi a little bit. Lupi was actually getting in some good punches, getting in some good shots. But I think overall the striking advantage, even in the first round, was going to Luana. But whenever Lupi closed that distance, And that's why I said in my video too, I was talking about how Luana Carolina would throw body kicks. You know, I was like, she can't throw those because, um, or I said, Lupi Godinez needs to time, use her timing, you know, wait for her to throw body kicks and catch them. And she was doing that. You know, every time she would try to throw a body kick to Lupi, you know, Lupi would catch him. And she closed the distance nicely. You know, she definitely closed the distance nicely. Good work, you know. Closed the distance, put the pressure on Luana, got her down and chopped her down to her size in that first round and almost submitted her. You know, almost got the first round, almost got a first round armbar on Luana Carolina. But I'd say in the second and third round, second round was close. It was close moments there. I think whenever she got that takedown on Luana Carolina again, but overall, I think Luana was doing a good clinch work, doing a good job in the clinch. You know, landing some good knees to the body and using that elbow and the forearm to kind of push Lupi's head back to control her head. And yeah, she edged out that second round, and then the third round, I think she just completely took it. You know, she outworked Lupi Godinez in my opinion. Uh, Mr. Lee said he gave the decision to Godinez. Whoa, no way. Yeah. Um, you say Lupi's 7-day turnaround and went 3 rounds. That's a win in itself. Yeah, you know, financially it is. Financially it is, but you know, nobody wants to go in there and just continue to be a fighter that racks up losses. You know what I mean? Like, gotta win. You know, there's no moral victory in this game. You know what I mean? There's still no moral victory in it. Um, I Hey, if she won, I'd be like, hey, you know, congratulations. But I don't think flyweight is a weight for her because, like I said, she did weigh at 121. Like, if she would have won this fight, it might be dangerous too because then she might go in there trying to take on some of these other flyweights. And I don't know if she's got the size and strength to handle some of these other flyweights. You know what I mean? Like some of these other big, strong grapplers on that level. I don't know. Imagine if she went in there with Melissa Gatto, you know, who's a tall, long fighter that uses her range and very, very, very hard in the clinch. You know what I mean? Like that would be a tough fight for Lupi. But yeah, I mean, it's yeah, like I said, it's sort of a win. I mean, yeah, financially, yeah, but I'm not gonna egg somebody on to take on a big challenge that we know they can't win. You know, like in the future, I'm not gonna say that. Like, definitely not. Uh, the leader said, "Man, I wanted Lupi to win. Sarge would have killed that girl." Yeah, of course. You know, Sarge, that's a different story, but that just shows you there's still different levels to the game when it comes down to size and a natural flyweight versus a natural strawweight. Yeah, she is the lower tier. She is the lower tier. But what does that tell you then, right? Like if you're saying Carolina's a lower tier, yeah, I still pick, you know, I still had to pick her to win. What does that say about Lupi then, right? Like, I mean, if you want to gauge it like that, because I don't think so. Like, I'm not gonna put her down like that, say it's that low, because I mean, guys are saying Lupi was gonna beat her, and what does that mean? Everybody that was picking Lupi Godinez now you can't put down Carolina because what is that going to say about her now? You know, So if you put her down, you know that means what he's trying to say about Lupi Godinez. If you pick Lupi Godinez to win, I'm just saying. No, no, it wasn't much too soon. It was a 7 day. Everybody was ready. It was ready to go, man. No excuses, right? No excuses, TJ. Yeah, I think Luana Carolina could have did a much better job of establishing her range too, man. Like that's why I said in my other video too. I said this. I was like, your range, 8-inch reach advantage. It's not always an advantage if you don't know how to use it. You know, Jessica Andrade was able to get in on Caitlin Chikagan so much, so much easier, than we thought. and she was just able to close that distance and make it an inside fight. Loopy had these moments too, you know. Loopy had these moments, but again, you know, weighing in at 121, she's just a much uh she came in like a much smaller flyweight, so it was hard for her to get full control. Like after that first round, um, she was getting controlled in those tie clinches at time, and you know, eating knees to the body. And I think she kind of faded a little bit. You know, she kind of faded a little bit. And I think Luana Carolina, that's where her volume went up. You know, if you go back and look at them punch numbers, she was landing a lot. You know, there was a good right hand from Loopy when she closed in, though. Like Godinez did land a good right hand that snapped Luana Carolina's head back, and I was like, "Come on, Luana, you ain't supposed to be getting hit with shots like that." You know, you ain't supposed to be getting hit shots with shots like that. But yeah, overall, it was a good performance by both fighters, and Carolina's not really the type to go in there and stop fighters. You know, she doesn't have that type of power. She doesn't really pack that type of killer instinct. It was just a decision, like I said. You know, she had enough to win. She had enough tools to counter the smaller strawweight. That's what it came down to. What else? So from here, I mean, I'd like to see her just go back down. I just like to see her go back down to 115, and from there, uh, you know, challenge some of these other strawweights on the come up. If she goes back down, her versus Ariane Carnelossi, that would be good. I mean, these two little powerhouses, that would be a good fight. Carnelossi versus Godinez would be a good fight. That would be a good fight. You know, that's two grappler wrestlers. But I would actually favor Godinez in that fight because of her striking. I think her striking is better. Her boxing is better than Carnelossi's. But you never know. That would be a good fight. Yeah. Fought on the same day, have the same turnaround time. Godinez go back down to 115 and take on Carnelossi. That would be good. I like that match. All right. So let's jump into this talk. Manon Fiorot versus Myra Buenos Silva. A good fight. Good fight. Manon Fiorot, you know, she won it 30-27, hands down. I think that, of course, a lot of people are gonna take away because the fight did go to the cards. And it's like she said herself, if the fight goes to the, you know, the distance, the decision, she would kind of feel a little disappointed. And in a way I kind of was, because I think Manon Fiorot, she didn't fully. I think I don't know if she overtrained. She didn't seem as economical with some of her shots in this fight. Like she was letting too many she was letting too many shots go that were missing. You know, that was my first thought. Like even in the first round, like Manon, to me, it usually knows how to set that straight left hand up. Like if she throws her basic 1-2, it's very effective. But in this fight, she was trying to throw more volume, and she was missing like a lot of right hands that she was in her combinations with. You know, she was missing a lot of right hands by a mile. You know what I mean? And it was leaving her open for counters. Like I I was expecting her to just keep it from on the outside with her side kicks. Like her side kicks were effective. You know, her side kicks were very effective in this fight. You know, she was throwing those to the body, and Myra Buena Silva, she was taking them. She you could tell she was hurt, but she was taking them shots to the body. So my thing was, I would like to see Myra Buena Silva. Well, I would like to see Manon Fiorot shoot that left hand to the body. You know, throw that uppercut to the body, and then go upstairs, because Myra Buena Silva, she had it in her head to put the pressure on, but she was gonna come forward with a high guard. You know, she was coming forward with the high guard. So if Manon Fiorot would have started throwing more like side kicks to the body, and you know, continuing to shoot that karate kick to the gut, those hands would have came down. You know, those hands would have came down, where those elbows would have dropped. And when the elbows drop, the left hand can go straight down the pipe. You know, and that's why I said, like for me, you know, she's definitely in my triple threat, which she still is, because she's still showing a lot of good IQ. She's still a lot of good technique, and she still has a high IQ. because she still found a way to win when the girl didn't go down. And she wasn't phased by that clown stuff, which I'm gonna talk about here in a minute. Um, from Myra Buena Silva. But I think Manon Fiorot looked a little. I don't know if she looked a little gassed. I don't know if it was because of the reason they had to pull out of the fight because of the whole C19 issue. I don't know if it was because of that, but she looked a little like, I won't say she was gassing, but like the power wasn't behind her shots in this fight. The power wasn't behind her shots in this one. I was kind of curious about that. Like, something wrong or overtrained? I don't know. It might be the fact she might have overtrained, or like I said, from the C19 situation. I don't know. I don't know, but you could see it in the performance. But she had enough in her to take the win. She definitely had enough in her to take the win. She put hands, put the kicks on Myra Buena Silva. But let's talk about Myra Buena Silva. Like, what was she doing in there, man? Like, I was like, stop playing. Stop playing. Like, is that your game plan, to go in here and like act like you can take these shots and keep shaking your head? Like, if shaking your head wins a fight, then she would have won a unanimous decision. I was like, what are you doing? You know, like, Manon Fiorot may not be hurting you with these shots, and that's what gets on my nerves. Like, I almost put that performance. I almost put what Myra Buena Silva was doing in there with what fans will say. Fans are gonna say, "Oh, she couldn't stop her. Oh, she's not good because she couldn't stop her." Okay, who's piling up points? Who's getting busted up here? Who's probably gonna go home with the concussion or the headache? You are. You know what I mean? Who's going home with the W? This person is. Manon is. So my thing is like, why are you going to keep shaking your head, acting like these shots don't hurt? Why are you gonna keep shaking your head? What's your game plan? Because this person ain't gonna stop teeing off on you. They might be hitting your guard, but they're still scoring. You know, it may not be what we've seen Manon do in the past couple fights, but this is now. Myra, you're in there. Myra Buena Silva, you're in there with Manon Fiorot now. She's touching you up. You know, you just got dropped with a body kick. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? You just gonna keep shaking your head? So what what does that get a fighter? Like, that doesn't really take fighters out of their game plan, and it didn't work on Manon Fiorot. Like, I just saw Manon Fiorot continue to go through the motions of taking the W, which is important. Like I said, if you can't stop somebody, you can't knock them out. You got to keep it pushing. Um, I don't understand that though. Like, like if I was a corner, I'd be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, why are you in here shaking your head, acting like these shots don't hurt? Oh, sorry, phone was ringing. But yeah, I don't know, man. Let me turn this off. Hold on. All right. Okay, yeah. So like I was saying, yeah, like you doing like shaking your head like these shots don't hurt, then you dropping your hands like you showboating, you the one busted up here. I mean, like, you the one bloodied up right now. Like, why are we gonna play this game? I was hoping that Manon would have went in for the kill right then, because it was getting on my nerves. I was like, come on, Myra, come on, Myra. Like, if you were winning, or if you were actually making it a competitive fight, I would have been like, okay, this girl is getting in Manon's head, but it was not working that way. It just wasn't working that way. To me, actually, Manon, her best moments to me were on the ground and in the clinch, which is a good thing. Like, Manon, we usually say, oh, she's better on her feet. She's better with her striking. But to me, she looked better in the clinch. Like, she looked a little gassed from the outside, like she was a little off. But when it went into the clinch, she actually looked stronger. Like, she was actually controlling Myra Buena Silva, and then she got that big slam. She got that big takedown, and she was just controlling the ground and landing some good strikes. So when she did get her takedowns, she looked good. She looked very good in her ground game. I was impressed. I was much more impressed with that than I was her striking this time. I don't know. Let me go in the chat here real quick. What else I'm talking about? Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, yeah, TJ. Yeah, yeah. Luana Carolina is slow. She was slow. That's why when I saw that speed, I was expecting like Lupi to, counter, or maybe like take some of these big shots and, well, avoid some of these big shots and control or counter and just work her way in and maybe even strike with Luana Carolina. But yeah, Carolina's slow, but she outworked her. Well, hey, well, Robot Chicken, I mean, you got to celebrate, man. You got to celebrate if you won. I mean, you celebrate because you got a W. You know what I mean? Like, I would celebrate, especially when everybody picked against me. You know what I mean? Like, everybody picked against her, so she got the right to celebrate. What's she supposed to do? Say, "Oh man, like, I ain't getting no win." Like, you got the win, you get the win. Especially when you the underdog. Come on, everybody pick against you. That's your way of saying, "Hey, kiss my." You know what? Ulysses says Fiorot showed some holes. Yeah, she showed a few. A little off though. Like I'm gonna talk about it here in a minute. Yeah, that was a wrong game plan to me. Like it should have just been shoot for the takedowns like Carla. Take the fight down to the ground, put the weight on her, and get that fighter down to your level. When you stay clinched up with like a taller, heavier fighter, it's gonna take your toll, especially when you're getting hit into the body. You know, don't forget, Luana Carolina was hitting her with knees to the body. She was getting hit with knees to the body, and that forearm was getting put in her throat. So all of that's going to factor in. Yeah, Marcus, that's what I was saying. There was a lot of wasteful punches there. You know what I mean? There was a lot of wasteful punches from Manon tonight. Like you look at some of her past fights, she's usually making them shots count. She makes those shots count, and she was really having trouble breaking through. And that's what's crazy. Like Buena Silva's guard wasn't anything difficult to break, but it was almost like Manon's right hand was not on the money this time. Like I'm gonna go back and watch the fight again, but I'm just like, wow, like there was some trouble there. Never like she was in trouble, but just of like landing the cleaner shots. Gordon says Silva's calf kicks to Manon were effective. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. Like that first round, like a few of them things, like a few of Silva's calf kicks, they kind of moved Manon. And I don't know if y'all noticed, like after she did her post fight, I don't know if she was kind of limping or what, but something looked a little off, man. Like she seemed like she was doing I don't know if she was a little limping or just kind of walking slow, but yeah, they were effective. She just didn't throw that many, but when she threw them, they would kind of move Manon a little bit. Kansas said good 3 rounds via Manon. Myra was tough. Yeah, she was tough, but yeah, she was acting like a clown in there, man. I was like, what's going on? Very, very unprofessional. Especially if you're not winning. Like it's one thing if you win and you could put on the show, but this was like, come on, man. Like, are you just done? Are you just done at this point? Yeah, he said Manon was apprehensive. I don't know if she was too weary of like Silva's power. Like, I think something was just off. I don't know, cause like Martin Brenda Silva doesn't have like a great deal of like knockouts. Does she? Let me check back. I have to check. Like, she had like one punch power. Yeah, I would have loved to see her do the finish though in that second or third round. I just wanted to see her go to the body and break it down and get her out of there. Yeah, Gordon noticed that. Yeah, he said she was limping in the fight from the kicks. Yeah, I think that might been what it was. Like when the calf kicks landed, she couldn't get enough pressure off on her jab. She couldn't get enough. She couldn't put enough. Power behind that jab. I think from the calf kick. So he said Silva was very durable. Yeah, she's durable. She is durable. Because yeah, Marina Moreau pieced her up good, and she survived. She still kept coming. And TJ said she looked off. Her defense was woeful. Stuff to work on. Yeah, yeah. I think she's ready for a top 15 though. I don't know about top 10 yet. I would give her like 11 through 15. Yeah, 11 through 15 would be good. But I thought she did some good boxing moves in there too, where she was like slipping. when she would like slip and dip out at an angle. Like even on the inside, whenever she hit Mayra Silva with a couple good shots and she would just kind of dip out, she would kind of dip low. She has some good head movement in there. She's got good reflexes. Robot Chicken said Gapova would win. I don't know about that. I can't base it off of that. I think Agapova looked good because one of the reasons Agapova looked really, really, really good was because of the fact that Mazo was just a target to hit. Factor that in. If you don't move and you're standing right there, it's going to make the other person look good. But see, Manon Fiorot was fighting a moving, durable, tough target. Like who had a tougher fight? Let's put it that way. Who had a tougher fight? Manon Fiorot or Manon Fiorot versus Mayra Silva or Agapova versus Mazo? Who had the tougher opponent to get their W? I think it's obvious. That's what you got to look at. See, Manon Fiorot had somebody that was hitting back. Manon Fiorot had somebody that was hitting back and is strong and has power. They're durable. Where Agapova had an opponent that was walking right into her power hand all night. That was just chasing her, walking right into her power hand. So you really can't base that off of what she would do to Manon Fiorot or vice versa. But I still think Manon Fiorot would beat Agapova. But anyways, if you're basing it off of that win, you really can't do that. I mean, that's not going to give you your answer. That's really not going to give you your answer. Because Agapova, again, her opponent said, hit me, hit me, hit me all night. That's all. Hit me all night. Whereas Silva, yeah, she was getting hit, but there was always that danger factor. Like she was at least trying. Like she was at least hitting Fiorot with some calf kicks and closing the distance. And she actually did a little damage on Manon versus what Mazo did. What did she do? Nothing. He said Agapova knows how to strike and good with distance. She knows how to fight coming. I think she knows how to fight real good coming forward. She looked good going on her back foot because again her opponent was coming straight forward. Mark said Manon versus O'Neal. I would like that fight. Manon versus Casey O'Neal. That's a good fight. Casey O'Neal. She didn't answer the call from Macy Barber, which I understand why. She's taking a good little turnaround. That would be good though. Like Manon and Casey, that'd be a good fight now. Maybe their turnaround could be about the same time. So yeah, and then you got to think too, like Manon Fiorot taking Agapova to the ground, you got to favor Manon. Manon's going to be stronger and she's going to be a hell of a lot more brutal. Yeah, Manon versus O'Neal, that would be good. TJ said I haven't forgot Dobson not buying their new Agapova quite yet. I'm not either. Like I was sold on her before that because of what she was doing in her killer instinct, but I don't know if she's fully focused yet. I still don't know. She's got to put together another string of wins, man. Like she got to put after this win, she got to come in there again and beat a couple other fighters, get her revenge against Tracy Cortez, maybe beat Montana De La Rosa when Montana De La Rosa heals up, or beat Jillian Robertson, or beat Melissa Gatto, beat some of them good girls like that, and I'll consider that again. He said O'Neal, what a waste of time for Manon. Not really. I mean, she's a top 15 now. It's not a waste of time. I mean, the only reason I wouldn't want O'Neal and Manon to fight right now is because I would want to save them both for the top 10. I would like to save them for the top 10, but if the fight happened, it happens because she is the top 15 now. She um she broke in there now, right? So it's not really a waste. I say give Manon the winner of Jessica I. No, 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 no. Give Manon Roxy Modafari next, or the winner of Jessica I, Andrea Lee. That would be a better fight. That would be a better fight. Nah, not really, Gordon. You said Silva stock went up. Not really. I stock don't go up to me when you take a beating, especially when you clowning around. Stock don't go up when you take a beating, not at all. And I don't think Manon's image is suffering anything. She was just in there with an opponent that she stepped, a definite step up for her, But yeah, she's still. I still think she's one of the biggest threats in the flyweight division. But yeah, now Silva's game stays the same. You know what I mean? She's the one that never levels up and rises to the occasion. She's tough, but she still hasn't rose to the occasion. Yeah, that's a good point, TJ. O'Neal doesn't advance Fiorot's career right now. Well, no, Manon Fiorot's 31. Manon Fiorot's actually 31, so she's not 34. You're thinking of Marina Rodriguez, but yeah, Manon is actually 31, right? I mean, that's what the tail of the tape said tonight. That's what I thought I saw, but yeah, Manon Fiorot 31, and but yeah, still like her and Casey O'Neal fighting now. I would rather than wait maybe till they both get into the top 10. But yeah, I prefer Roxy or like Andrea Lee. Roxy, Andrea Lee, Jessica I winner. That's a better fight. That's a much better fight for Manon Fiorot. Coming back in like the spring or winter time, February or March. Yeah, she's 31. Um, yeah, yeah. So that's the fight I would like. I would like one of those top 15s. Give her one of the veterans. Yeah, let's not get off course. Let's continue to give the new blood the old blood. You know what I mean? We got to get the old fighters out. Robot Chicken said Mazda was trying to hit Agapova was too release. Trying. I mean, she she was getting hit a lot though, man. I didn't really see her trying too much. And the thing is, like, trying, like, she wasn't setting nothing up. She was just walking. She was just walking, man. Kansas said Mara was a punching bag. She was, man. Like, I really didn't like that. I didn't like that joking around business she was doing either, man. I was just like, come on, do something. Robot Chicken said Manon one, she passed the test. Yeah, yeah, she definitely passed the test. 30-27, 30-26, whatever. Yeah, she passed the test. Not every fight gonna be easy. TJ said I don't rate O'Neal, the new Mason. You look at Aaron Blanchfield. Aaron Blanchfield, I think, is much more polished when it comes to skills than O'Neal. TJ. I mean, you might not think so about Aaron Blanchfield. Look at Aaron Blanchfield's. TJ, go back and look at Aaron Blanchfield's skills versus Casey O'Neal, and get back to me. I think Aaron Blanchfield's skills are much better. People are against me when I say Aaron Blanchfield's going to beat Macy Barber, but I think her skills are ready for Macy and whoever. That's just me. Mark said if Silva was more aggressive, I think she would have given Manon problems. If she was more aggressive, I think that would have left her open. I think she would have got hit more because she was using her guard a little bit here, and Manon couldn't get off. Most people expect a much better performance from Manon. Yeah, I was expecting her to stop her. Yeah, but I also was open to the fact that Mayra Bueno Silva is tough. Like Mayra Bueno Silva is tough. Like what I say is not going to be the final answer. You know what I mean? So I always know that a fight's going to be open, like to somebody, being in the clinch, maybe getting taken down. But I was impressed at Manon Fiorot's strength in her ground game. Actually, I was actually impressed with how she was able to handle Buena Silva on the ground. Because I said if it went to the ground, Buena Silva was gonna have more success. But did she? No, she didn't. I mean, I expected a different outcome, but again, like this ain't Tabitha Ricci. This ain't Victoria Leonardo. So if it goes this way and she wins, that's a win. That's a win. Because that's what we wanted her, right? We wanted her in there with a tough opponent. So if it comes out looking like a tough fight, that means she beat a tough opponent. But yeah, I definitely was expecting because she said it herself. She said it herself that she was expecting to stop her. So if she's disappointed, shoot, I am too. I was disappointed though, to a certain extent. Ulysses said Valentina already taking notes. I don't even think Valentina, she don't, you know how she is. She don't even have to take notes. She just like when it comes, it comes. You think she carried the injury into it or after? Like I it looked like it was after to me. Like I saw a little limp there. I ain't gonna lie. I saw the little limp. So she could have carried something in there though, because you know how fighters do during their off time, they continue to train and they might overtrain and get hurt. So I'm I'm a big I'm a big believer in like fighters taking like well I'll talk about that some other time about like off time before they go in there doing putting too much putting too much like whenever a fight gets canceled then they put too much time in the gym again. That's something I'll talk about in another video. But I think yeah, I think the leg looked like it was hurt after the fight. Like I kind of saw the limp there. Manon could not hurt Silva. Silva pressed her the whole fight. Manon fought on the back foot, not controlling the center. Like God, she circled. Yeah, she circled. Yeah, she did fight with. She fought off the back foot. I think she hurt. I think she hurt Silva, but Silva was just able to take it. I mean, she kicked her in that body and she dropped her. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. He was. Yeah, so I was saying like I don't think there's anything she's taking notes about right now. There's nothing she's gonna take notes on right now. Blanchfield, I believe, will come good top 10 in the future, maybe top 10 O'Neal. He said none of that. Yeah, Blanchfield is I think yeah. All right, let's talk about this main event real quick. Aspen Ladd, Norma Dumont. I know everybody was picking Norma Dumont. Excuse me, I know everybody was picking Aspen Ladd to win this fight. I had to go with Norma Dumont just for everything you saw. Everything you saw in this fight is why I picked Norma Dumont. I expected Norma Dumont to maybe put a little bit more spice on them leg kicks and some power punches, but overall Norma Dumont controlled this fight. She controlled it nicely with the jab, and Aspen Ladd, I don't think she had any takedown attempts in this fight, did she? No takedown attempts at all. She just stayed on the she stayed in the center, doing this little feint with her head and just kept eating jab after jab. Now Norma Dumont, in my opinion, she stood she should have started incorporating leg kicks. Like, why was she not eating that leg up of Aspen Ladd? It was there. Like, if she would have started hitting that lead leg, she probably could have got a knockout or got a takedown after Aspen Ladd was hurt from the leg kicks and the jabs and the power shots. But I didn't see Norma Dumont mix it up enough, in my opinion. She got the win. She got the win. Yeah, she got the win. But this wasn't a fight to really go in there and be cautious against, in my opinion. It wasn't like Felicia Spencer. If you want to welcome somebody into the featherweight division, you welcome him to the division. Aspen Ladd looked big. Yeah, like Aspen Ladd looked big, but aside from her looking big, she was taking punches. The weight definitely helped her take the punch. But again, there was really no combinations from Norma Dumont in this fight. She controlled the clinches, uh, controlled a bit of the ground, but because she got like a takedown, she got one takedown. Aspen Ladd got none. I don't think that Norma Dumont really approached this fight to sit down on it and just put a foot on the gas and go in for the kill. Whereas if it was somebody like Holly Holm, I think Holly Holm at 145 against Norma Dumont, I think Holly Holm probably would have stopped Aspen Ladd. Let's be real, because she would have been throwing head kicks and she would have been throwing like flurries, and her flurries would have been breaking through the guard of Aspen Ladd. Let's be real. Holly's, yeah, Robot Chicken. Holly would have starched Norma. No, I think she would have starched Aspen Ladd at 145, in my opinion, or 135. That's my question too. How was Aspen Ladd number 3? I mean, no disrespect, but hey, how was she number 3? How was she number 3? TJ said that fight was the most boring. Yeah, I can understand it gets boring whenever you see a person not letting the trigger, pulling the trigger. She never pulled the trigger. Like Norma controlled this fight, and that's why Aspen Last Trainer was so mad. Like, what do y'all think about that? Like, I posted up early in this community page, like a Twitter. Uh, Everybody was kind of going in on Aspen Last Trainer. I'm gonna talk about that Monday. Yeah, I ain't got time tomorrow, but I'm gonna talk about that Monday with y'all. Like, what did y'all think about that? Like, Aspen Last Trainer. A lot of people were getting mad at Aspen Last Trainer on his approach. Like, what do y'all think about that? Of course, Misha Tate had something to say, but there were a lot of other fighters saying that he was being too rough on her. Like, what do y'all think? They say, but this the fight game, man. This the fight game. I'm gonna just say that right now. What was y'all's take on that? I mean, I got to go back and really pay attention to the corner because I was watching it with the sound down. I was watching it with the sound down, so I got to go back and research and listen to what they were saying, and I got to read some more of these tweets. But I was reading like a lot of people were getting mad at Aspen Last Trainer. Like, what's the deal with that, man? Like, if your fighter is losing, aren't you supposed to kind of put them in that situation? Like, hey, you're blowing it, kid. Like Angelo Dundee did to Sugar Ray Leonard. Come on, man. Like they were saying some of the stuff was harsh, but I don't know, man. Y'all gotta read some of these tweets. I'm gonna post them up though, man, because they were um they were going in, man. Somebody, I think Misha Tate called him a douche. I was like, wow. And they had some other people saying like he was being too hard on Aspen Ladd, telling her that she wasn't doing good or doing right. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Because I mean, the win was there for Norma Dumont, for Aspen Ladd, because Norma Dumont was really just striking and beating her up to a decision win. She never really like fully went at it to the point where she was pummeling Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd had many opportunity. Aspen Ladd had many opportunities. So I don't know. But I don't know, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm about to jump back on here again. I'm about to get out of here in a minute, but we're gonna probably talk about this again because I just want to look at like what people were saying and like what he was saying that was so harsh in the corner. Um, but yeah, my thoughts on the fight. Norma did what she was supposed to do. She dominated. I could have seen more power shots. I would have liked to see more, leg kicks and try to go for the stoppage. Like big shots. Big shots. Even Sarge, she tried to stop Aspen last. She just couldn't do it. Aspen's not really built for 145. I don't think. I think she just needs to be way, way more disciplined to be at 135 because that's where she needs to be. That's her weight. Um, this was just her weight because she couldn't stay on the 135 on that 135 tip. So hey, from here, Norma said something about winning this fight, maybe getting Nunes, but we know what Nunes could do. Shoot, Holly Holm. I think Holly Holm would have beat both of them, in my opinion. Holly Holm would have beat both Aspen Ladd and Norma Dumont. Um, but Norma did a good job for what she was supposed to do here. I picked her. I said she'll just pick her apart. Um, yeah, wasn't like the biggest, like I said, the biggest fight to me. Manon versus Meyer was the fight I was looking forward to. So TJ said come. Hold on. TJ said come to Thailand. Shoot, one day, man. Let me renew this passport and yeah, renew this passport and I got to get to traveling, man. Got to get on my travel. Robot Chicken said he was cussing a lot though. Was he? Yeah, I had it turned down. He said you want coaches to be real with you, not yes man. He said Aspen Ladd has been over it. We can see that clearly now. I mean, that was always my question, man. It was always like, why are you number 3? Gordon said, I often wish Dana would have hired Teddy Atlas for the job of inspiring fighters when they return to their corners. Teddy's pep talk worked miracles with Michael Moore. It sure did, man. I mean, shoot, got Michael Moore in there, man. Yeah, like Teddy boy, he'll put Timothy Bradley. You ever see that fight? I can't remember who he was fighting. The Timothy Bradley fight, the fireman speech. That fireman speech will get you going, man. Like Teddy Atlas, he'll get you he'll get you going, man. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, her jab was good. Now I ain't gonna lie, like I wanted to see more because the open and the finish Ladd was there, but the jab was beautiful. Yeah, the jab was there. I love the jab. I loved her jab all night. I just wanted to see a leg kick. I wanted to see a leg kick established or something. Between the loss, the layoff, Ashby ain't been the same in a while. GDR shell shocked her, it seems. Yeah. Lolita said travel while you're young. Yeah, yeah. I got to. I got to. I got to get in a few more years. Mark said Ladd is terrible number 3. I think Aldana is levels above Ladd. Yeah, I think so too. I think Aldana is better. Aldana is better. Yeah, I'm kind of done, Mark. I'm kind of done pushing for the I'm kind of done pushing for the 45 division. I think I've been talking about on my channel, I had people hit me up about it too, but I'm kind of done with it because they're making a lot of mistakes. They didn't sign Pam Bam. They're taking forever to let Macy Chase on fight at 145. She's worth 35 now. They ain't signing a lot of these fighters. I'm going with 105 now. Stammer said travel while you're alive. That too. That too. I mean, yeah, it definitely, yeah. Because even when I get to be 50 and 60, that's when I'm really travel, man. When I get to be 50 and 60, when there not much going on anymore, then that's when I'm gonna be traveling. Because right now, stuff to do, stuff to claim. You know what I mean? But yeah, when I get to be 50, 60, yeah, if I still ain't got no kids and if I ain't married, I still ain't got no kids, and yeah, sure. Yeah, 50 and 60, I'm gonna definitely be out the door. I'm gonna still be flying. So yeah, when I get to be that age, yeah, definitely. Definitely. So yeah, as long as you're alive. As long as you're alive. Um, yeah, I done with 145. Bring on 105. Bring on the atom weight division. It's time to do another show about the atom weight division. Bring on Jessica Del Boney, bring on Lindsey Van Zant, bring on Alicia Zapatella, bring on all of these tiny girls that want to put on a show. I'm tired of pushing for a division they don't want to do. Um, but yeah, I want to go back and look at what last trainer was saying though. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how harsh it was. I gotta look first, man. I saw the reactions. That's what had me going. I was like, dang man, like y'all say he being hard. Come on. But yeah, overall good night of fights. Decent night of fights. We'll talk more Monday when I'm actually situated. We can go back in on a little bit more in these fights. Uh, I still think Manon is a part of this triple threat. She still looks good. She still looks the part. Um, Norma Dumont, I don't think she's ready for Nunes, but she definitely put on a good performance. Beautiful jab, like I said. Ariana Carlosi, I want to see her fight Lupe Godinez next. And as for Lupe and Lupe Godinez back down to 115, in my opinion. Luana Carolina, it's gonna be tough for her in the flyweight division. Let's be real, it's gonna be tough for her in the flyweight division because if she was getting taken down by this little 121 pounder, Luana Carolina boy, she gonna have it tough, man. Tough. Go ahead and let her match up with Melissa Gatto and see who comes out on top in that fight. That'll test her. Oh man, I got, I got Melissa Gatto in that just early look. I don't know. I don't know. Robot Chicken said, "Did you watch Bellator?" Lady said, I got to go back and watch it. Suki Anaba versus what's her name? I can't remember right now. Yeah, I got to go back and watch them fights and we'll talk. Mark said, rewatching Manon now looks to be carrying the left hand in the first round, carrying the rights, but not many lefts. And she wasn't throwing that many left hands, man. She was throwing a lot of right hooks. I'm gonna go watch it now. I'm gonna go watch it now, y'all. I'm gonna see what I see. I'm definitely gonna pay attention to some stuff. But yeah, my words to Myra Buena Silva: stop playing. Stop playing when you're in there. Stop playing around. Stop clowning. Stop clowning. That's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, y'all, I get on here on Monday evening. We'll talk. Silva's striking accuracy was higher at 43%. They both landed. I don't know if Silva landed that many. I mean, I got to go back and look, man. They must have been counting some. I'm just saying. I'll go back and look, y'all. But let me get up out of here. I will see y'all Monday at 7 p.m. We'll talk, regular time, 7 p.m. Um, like I said, I got a community tab there now, so I'll be posting there. I'll let y'all know when I be on. And, I'll be posting questions there now. So, join in the conversation there. Like always, I'm getting up out of here. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.